Okay, here's our 3-week update on our first set of fry. This is pretty much what's left of them. I've got a couple feeder goldfish that are still around there, but I've got some all different sizes. There's one tilapia there, a group of them over there. I think I've counted 15. I've got still some. I don't know that I've showed this. We back out and show the whole system where we're currently at. We did finally tie in the supply line to get up here. I've got overflows now that go over both sides. They're draining into this, which will be a raft system hopefully by the weekend's over. Problem is I don't have a good way of screening. There's my solid lift overflow. I've had several of these fry fingerlings. I don't know if they're fingerlings yet, but they're getting close. But that have either been sucked up or actually have swam up this overflow system and ended up in this raft system. I fished out several of the our second batch of fry that have got loose when I was using the McDonald jar. Nonetheless, I fished most of them out. I'm fixing to move them to here. Once I get some better screens for that outlet overflow and for here, I'll feel much better about it. I haven't got it to where they're draining properly. Every time I put some type of net or screen or something like that, I don't have anything everything I have is too fine, and it gets clogged up with debris. And my water levels that I've got kind of marked here, this is how I gauge where I'm at and what's normal and what's full throttle and whatever. But this is what's safe. I know where I hear this can keep up. But anyways, at 3 weeks ago today, these guys were spit out, and we've kind of went with them there. What's crazy is the difference between these that are in like kind of aquarium setting versus the ones that are in the main tank. And there's probably 8 or 9 that are in here, and they are, let's see if I can catch a couple, they are much bigger. Here's one right there. Let's see if I can come up. Sometimes I raise the lid, they drop down, but maybe not. But there's another one right there sinking. But nevertheless, the ones that are in here, much bigger. There's a couple in here that I'd say are close to over an inch already, and they're just growing much faster. They kind of hang out around the heater and pecking stuff off it. There's some algae on the lift pipe. They're pecking on it all the time. So where do I want to go? There's another one down there. It's hard to show the difference between the two, but anyways, these are much bigger. I've had one that we took eggs from and that were already hatched. I had in my last video talking about where they were spit out on the floor. Here's those that were rescued from the floor. But anyways, what was crazy was I found this little guy this week. Compare that one, and I don't know if it's male or female, I haven't really had to check, but compare it to these. This one must have, early on, we're about a month and a half, maybe 7 weeks ish from when we first put fish in this tank, and I found that one down in our sump tank down in here. The water level happened to be low, and I could see him in there, and he's that water level gets down to 2 or less inches at times, and so I don't know if he's just living off of some pellets that might get sucked down the overflow, or I don't know. He's been roughing it, but there he is. He's still, or if it's a he, I don't know, but he's still kicking. And I still have one. Let me see where she's at back there. That has eggs. I don't know if I just misread it and thought some had eggs that didn't or whatnot, but this one does, because I can see her in her mouth when she turns just right. So I've got one more that's fixed to set out a batch of eggs. Anyways, last thing we'll talk about real quick is my plants. This one I just wanted to see how tall it would grow. It actually fell over. We came in one morning and it was, drooping over the side of the grow bed here, and I kind of propped it back up. You could tell it's kind of reaching, I don't know if it's called the nutrient lockout or whatnot, but it's kind of peeking out. The leaves are trying to dry up. It doesn't seem to be the kind that you can harvest. This is the one that was about the same size. I harvested it, pulled it off, and this one's not sending out any other shoots. So red sail is not one that you can, cut and regrow and cut and regrow. So hopefully this new stuff that I've got growing over there will. The mint, chocolate mint that we put in, it had some transplant shock. It initially, if you can kind of tell, there's some of it where it just laid down and just thought it was going to die, and then all of a sudden it's starting to sprout back up again. So I think it's going to be okay. This sweet mint is what has been in there the whole time from back in the fall, and it's starting to kind of peek out. Some yellowing of the leaves. I'm going to add some more iron here not too long. These are some seeds that I just threw in there to see what happened. They're sprouting and getting ready to take off, so I might have to transfer those into the raft system once they're going. Here is our it's called a red cherry, like a cherry tomato. Banana pepper, sweet banana pepper. It's not doing too bad. That pepper that's already on it was much smaller, so it's grown pretty good, big. I had some of these Ozark Beauty strawberry plants, 2 of those, and they're not all the way gone, but they've surely not enjoyed the transition from dirt to pea gravel. Some basil here has grown quite a bit. It's kind of hard with the light. And some okra is not dead, but it's kind of having a hard time. This Quinault strawberry is doing really good, and this jalapeno pepper has been from the same as that sweet mint. It's been here for a long time, so I'm hoping now that we're starting to show nitrates and stuff starting to show up, that it is going to do a little better. But system is running fairly well. I did have some problems with these siphons not kicking in, or at least filling up all the way. I'm gonna have to do a clean out of some sorts. I've got to change these filters. It's starting to get where they're kicking back some sludge, and I've got to do a better job of getting this. I'm gonna try to find a way to do a swirl filter up at the top before they even drain into here. So I don't know, more work to do. Last is the starts that we've got going. They're starting to sprout up. As soon as they're big enough to transplant, we'll do that. I've got all kind of different things in there. There's tomatoes on the end. That big one right there, some squash. What my plan is to get lettuce and possibly duckweed going in this grow bed, and then these 4 be purely just experimental, seeing what works, what doesn't work, and kind of go from there. Sounds like all the siphons are kicking in all at once, so we know that's working. I did get my lights put in my sump tank. I've got a lot of people that come to look at this system through my classroom, and I want to be able to show them what happens on the inside, so that's what kind of cool. So here's, he just had to go away, didn't he? But anyways, 3 weeks out from our first set of fry, and they're doing good. I'm going to rearrange this net separator, but keeping the males separate for right now. He's doing okay. He looks ticked off every time I'm around. He flashes his stripes, and I don't know, he's upset at me. But at some point I'll stick him back in there, females, once we kind of get it situated. But the fish are growing great. They, for the most part, are doing okay. We found this one, so it's up at the rest of them now. And anyways, we got the one that's fixing to have babies, so update in another week or so, and hopefully I'll put all these fry in here when I know that they won't get drained out, and all will be well. So thanks for watching. Everybody's watching on YouTube, and folks watching on Facebook. Appreciate it. Thanks.